So, let's cough 1 second. Sorry about that. I like to vape weed while I do these, and occasionally you have to cough. What- this is my own personal life philosophy, and it has made my life extremely difficult. But it's what I believe, and it's like a religious belief at this point. I think it's a bad thing to borrow money, especially if you don't really have to. If you have to borrow money, I would borrow it from a family member if that is an option without interest. I think anytime you pay interest on a debt, it's an unholy thing. Like that's some satanic shit right there. You're making money for nothing. It's wrong. I'm not into it. And as such, my personal philosophy is thus: if you can buy a $2,000 van and a piece of shit acre of land in the middle of nowhere and just live in that shit, that's you mean seriously that's an option? Why is anyone in debt? And like I think a lot of this is people have kids and they think that their kid needs X. And I have to tell you that if I had kids right now, I would be doing all the exact same shit I'm doing, and I'd be doing it with kids. Because it's what needs to be done in order for my family to survive in a lot of ways. And like homesteading is a thing that people have done throughout the fucking centuries. Like dragging your kid along ain't gonna hurt. In reality, the skills he's gonna learn fucking helping you build a fucking house are worth a shit ton more than whatever else he'd fucking get. And as far as you know, that goes for everything else. Like if you are starting out from a bad position or with nothing, then you are going to have to work for a little bit somewhere to get to the point that you have a vehicle and you have enough money to get some land. And maybe if you can build credit quickly enough and get a good enough job quickly enough, you can use that to your advantage to skip some stuff and get it quick. But don't go crazy with that shit, is what I'm saying. Uh, if you have the option, live like I'm going to show on this channel. It's kind of humble and close to the earth and whatever, but like, why would you want to live any other way? Like, I'm going to have air conditioning and heat and a house and cats and girlfriends and shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know why anyone would go into a bunch of debt to get a degree in some bullshit that they're never going to fucking use, or go into a bunch of debt to get a car that in reality you can go get something that rolls for $2,000. And like I get, cool cars, whatever. I invested in a car. And if you're gonna have a car as an investment, then that's maybe one thing. But like that's not what most people do. Most people go buy a brand new, you know, Toyota Camry or some shit or Honda Civic. And you know what? In 30 years, that car's not gonna be worth dick, really, unless you just keep it in pristine condition. Okay, if you're a little smart about the cars you buy and you keep them nice, you know, this is where you can fucking really save some money in the long run. For the last 10 years, I drove the same car. It was a 2011 Toyota FJ Cruiser, and I tried not to drive it much. I bought a special edition. I kept it low mileage, and it was tempting to go drive it all over or whatever. I did take it on some road trips, and I didn't hesitate to ever drive it or anything like that. But after 10 years, it had less than 70,000 miles on it. And because of the choices I had made to do that, which honestly did negatively affect my life in some ways. That car, I paid $29,000 for when it was new, and I got $28,000 for it when I sold it. So I paid $1,000 to drive a fucking pimptastic car for how many years? 10 years? That's a good deal. If you're going to do that. Okay. Don't, go $30,000 into debt to buy a Honda Civic or some shit. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Um, the other place I would say that it's probably a good thing to maybe go into debt would be on land. If you can get a loan for like $20,000, $40,000 or whatever to help you get land, I might take that fucking gamble. I would, get small amounts of cheap land and pay them off as quick as you fucking can. Doesn't matter how long the payments are or whatever. You want that debt gone as quickly as possible. Debt is bad. Debt is bad because when shit goes bad, like right now, if shit went bad for me, I would have to worry about money in about probably 5 or 6 years. Seriously. Uh, because of the way I've set up my whole fucking life. And like right now, that would involve sleeping in a van for a minute or two. But I'm planning on doing that. I want to go adventure around and whatever. And I want to go do a homesteading project thing. And I want to do a bunch of stuff. And I kind of figure that if I'm camping in a van eating canned goods, my overhead is basically nothing. I'm not going to eat just canned goods, but like I have a bunch of canned goods and we're going to go through them, especially while we're building shit. I figure I'm going to cook a big communal meal kind of thing for my buddy and I while we're cooking, while we're making cabins and shit. Um, that's going to be fun as hell. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to do more videos on my cabin plans. I want to build it so that it's cool for me and cool for my cat church and works with our plan to build other shit. And I'm going to build a couple of different guest cabins and bunkhouses and shit like that. Mm, honestly, it looks like I might need at least girlfriend quarters or some shit like that. I probably should do that, to be honest. But the other advantage of living debt free is no matter what you have, you have. No one can ever take it from you. You're not going to get shit repossessed. You're not going to get any of that. Um, the other thing is, why do you value the things that you value? Like, if you want, some $500,000 McMansion in the suburbs, why? Why would you want to live that close to other people? I don't understand that. That's my question to you. If that's something that you just really have to have, then good on you. This channel's not for you, bud. I don't really like living that close to other people. Like my buddy Sam is kind of the same way, and I don't know. I can't imagine why you would want to do that. And building these cabins out in the middle of nowhere together, I think is going to be fucking fun, 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 and it'll make a bunch of good videos for this channel. And it'll show you guys exactly how to do this because like Sam and I are both people who have camped a lot. And like neither one of us care sleep about sleeping out in the weather, I guess. Like if I have a sleeping bag and a car, I'm good. And you know, when it comes to building everything, like that's just do it one board at a time kind of shit, like There's no need to get in a big hurry about it. There's no need to fucking stress out about it. Like, we're gonna have to get some shit done. Don't get me wrong. And like, there's gonna be a time schedule. Like, this cabin needs to be up by this date. But I'm not gonna stress about a lot of shit. And that's the thing that, like, I think you'll see about the way I'm doing all of this, that you're not gonna get if you go to the real world or whatever. Like, if you go learn how to do shit from the English, as the Amish would say. That's what they call America. The Americans, they call them the English. Uh, if you go learn shit from the English, it's not going to serve you in the real world. And this whole channel is about living in the real world. And I view a lot of this as like the Matrix right now. They're starting to plug in more and more. It's getting kind of spooky. And debt, uh, in terms of this Matrix bullshit, is how they control you. It's how they keep you plugged into the system. If you eliminate your debts, then the banks have no power over you. Okay. Right now, if fucking, the banking federation or what, the International Monetary Fund decided to cut me off the way they did Russia, I would go, oh, gee, who cares? Doesn't fucking matter to me. And the reason is, I think I have $3 in my bank account. I go and put money in my bank account when I want to spend it online. I conduct all my affairs off the internet. I do not like this thing. I basically do YouTube here as my protest against the machine thing, because I do enjoy watching other people's YouTube stuff. And with the miracle that is the iPhone and the laptop and the internet, I have the ability to do this relatively easily. And as such, I'm going to document my fight against the machine in a lot of ways. And the machine, in my opinion, is owned by the banks. So by not having fucking debts with them, you're taking away a lot of their power over you and a little bit of their power over the world. Every person that does this, you take a little bit of their power away. If the entire world pulled their money out of the banks, God, it would be dangerous. That's the shit that, like, I don't know, might get this channel killed. If this channel does ever get killed, Patreon will continue and we'll go to fucking something else. I don't know. We'll think about that. If you have another video watching platform and you've watched this far, tell me what it is. I'd be curious to find out alternatives. If you want any more advice on living debt free, I think, is it Dave Ramsey? It's like the big debt free guy. I'm not really the person to ask about it. My way of living debt free is by having skills and never borrowing money and willing to live in vans. Okay, again, like, I am willing to go and have some adventures and shit, and I want to live a wild life. Maybe you shouldn't do what I do. But, if your heart longs for the open road, if you are have wanderlust, sorry, if I could talk, that this is all for you. Like, come and do this shit too. Like, if I didn't have the cat, the thing that I would be doing right now is loading up that fucking van and traveling all around Oklahoma to every place that I could fucking park it and camp it. Because I have the cat at the moment, I'm in a holding pattern trying to figure out a more permanent place to camp so that I can build something to have the cat in. I love him and I don't want to leave him. And it's shit like that will make a difference for some people as to whether or not they actually do this shit or not. I guess whether or not they're willing to leave the cat or the kid or whatever. But like, for me, I'm not willing to leave the cat. I'm not willing to give the cat up, so I'm bringing the cat fucking with me. If the cat has to live in a 4x4 cage for a couple of months, that's what it's going to be. But that's not what it's going to be. I love my cat and I don't like cages. And I'm going to get into this whenever I talk about the cabin design or whatever. But the first thing I'm going to build is my outdoor kitchen. Is just going to be kind of a big covered, screened in porch area. I'm going to throw it up first just so I have someplace to put the cat in. And it's going to be a big one room, all screened in. And then I'm going to put a nice, chair in there for him that's padded. So he has someplace nice to be while we construct cabins and whatnot. And that's what I would want if I were him. It's kind of cruel to keep animals in cages, I think. And what I see right now with the debt is everyone's living in a cage of their own fucking construction. They're living in a cage built on the need to consume products from some bullshit that they make in fucking China or whatever that doesn't amount to a hill of shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I have my fair share of Chinese crap. A lot of the prepping supplies I've been buying are Chinese made. That's because everything's made in China anymore, and I need cheap stuff that works. And like, I know the fridge I bought is made in China. I know the battery I bought, solar battery I bought is made in China. There's no fucking choices on those. Anyway, I'm gonna do more videos on what the cabin's gonna be like, and I'm gonna do a shit hits the fan shoe collection video. So I think I was already thinking about doing that, and someone mentioned it in a comment. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check me out on Patreon at Rachel's Place 26. It's patreon.com/Rachel's Place 26. There'll be a link in the description.